The 2022 NASCAR season was a wild one on pretty much all fronts, and there were tons of great and just absolutely insane moments that happened. And today we're going to go over the best of the best, the ones that made us have the greatest reactions, the ones that were the best stories, and the ones that just had the most action as well. And I want to say, going into this doesn't mean that every one of them is a good moment. There can be many great moments this year that weren't exactly good for some drivers, but made us all talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. But first, actually, let's have a word from our sponsor for today's video. You'd think with the NASCAR season being over that busy schedules would be too. But the holidays are right around the corner and you'll need every moment you can get. And this is where HelloFresh comes into play. HelloFresh is a high-quality food option that has fresh ingredients that travel from farm to your plate in under 7 days. HelloFresh has helped me, for instance, open up more time to get to the gym in between work and prepping for the holidays as well. And they help me save money, being 25% less expensive than takeout on average. Here, I'm having some tasty Peachy Keen barbecue rub pork chops, and they were so good and so quick to make as well. So, to get your HelloFresh order, go to HelloFresh.com and use code Iceberg70 for 70% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com. Use code Iceberg70 for 70% off plus free shipping. Now, back to the show. At number 10 is Austin Cindric winning the Daytona 500. Now, the greatest and biggest race in NASCAR being the bottom of the top 10 list either means it was a crazy season or the Daytona 500 wasn't that good, and the 500 was a pretty good one. Austin Cindric in his Team Penske number 2 car ran up front for most of the day and avoided most of the accidents. But what was really impressive was the fact that on the final restart, he held off his teammate while making a little contact and Bubba Wallace, two of the best superspeedway drivers in NASCAR today. This was the first win for the Blue Deuce, or at least the number 2 car for Roger Penske in the Great American Race. And then you add on top of it the fact that a rookie won, and it was an absolutely special moment to see. Number 9 is the Xfinity Darlington finish from September. This was probably the most exciting Xfinity finish of 2022, and it came down to Kyle Larson and Sheldon Creed battling with Noah Gragson right there. The three of them masterfully battled each other pretty cleanly for the most part, making incidental contact, and going into the final turns of the last lap, all hell broke loose. The 2 and the 17 had slowed each other up, giving Gragson the opportunity to go for the pass down low. Because of a flat tire, Creed got up into the wall, both of them fell back a bit, and Noah Gragson takes an exciting win that starts a streak of 4 consecutive wins. At number 8, we have the disqualification of Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. This, since the updated rules of taking wins away, was the first time we saw a win taken away in the NASCAR Cup Series, and it was a pretty exciting one as well. Denny Hamlin had fought tooth and nail to get up to the front, had battled with Ross Chastain, exacted his revenge on him, and it seemed like he was going to assert himself as the championship favorite alongside Chase Elliott, who had finished 3rd that day. His teammate Kyle Busch finished 2nd, so JGR finishing 1-2 was a really big deal at this point. But with this disqualification, it meant that Hamlin would lose the 5 playoff points, and Chase Elliott, who was 3rd and vaulted up to the win, would get 5 playoff points. These 5 points were the difference between Elliott making the final 4 in November and Hamlin making it had he had those points. So this is a pretty big deal, plus it had tons of people talking all week about it. At number 7, we have the Coda finish. This one was shaping up to be an all-time great finish, with Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger, and Alex Bowman all fighting for the win at the end of the race. And with it, Allmendinger and Chastain had gotten together, and it looked like Alex Bowman was going to sneak by and get another really good win at the end of the race. But Chastain, in his aggressive nature, which we'll see more of in this video, got into Allmendinger. Allmendinger spins out into the gravel trap. Chastain comes around the final corner and gets the win. And it was the first time in the Cup Series we'd ever get to see the watermelon smash. At number 6, we have Bell's walk-off win at the Roval. While his win at Martinsville was great, it got completely overshadowed and no one really remembers it. But we remember the Roval one, where he came in needing a win to qualify for the round of 8. After pitting late because of a myriad of different cautions and problems that were happening in this race, Bell had fresher tires and was flying through the pack. A great move by his crew chief, and then great moves on the track led to him getting the win at the end of the day and capitalizing on the problems of everybody else. Because of this, Bell was able to get to the round of 8 and show once again how clutch he has been and kind of assert himself as the top JGR driver of 2022. At number 5, we have Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin tag teaming Ross Chastain at Gateway. Chastain was an absolute wrecking ball and a weapon that entire race at Gateway in early June. And he took out Hamlin, causing some pretty bad damage that pretty much ended his day. And then he got into, with some incidental racing contact, but still over-aggressiveness, into Chase Elliott, taking him out. So, on a restart, Chase Elliott moved Chastain out of the way. And then, coming flying into the camera, Denny Hamlin comes and tries to take his move at him. Then, when the whole pack is past them, Denny Hamlin starts blocking Chastain like it's the last lap of Daytona or Talladega. And it was important because Chastain had come in to fix damage and was on the damaged vehicle clock, meaning if he didn't put up a fast enough lap in the ensuing 3 laps after the restart, well, he'd be DQ'd from the race. So Hamlin doing this was a big brain move, and he harassed him for laps and laps and laps. This brought Elliott and Hamlin fans together, and in my opinion, it was a turning point in the season for Chastain. At number 4, we have Joey Logano winning his 2nd NASCAR Cup Series championship. Logano had flown under the radar again, just like he did in 2018. No one really saw him coming because of what had happened at Martinsville, the people that were surging at that point, and Logano was sort of an afterthought. But he absolutely dominated the race at Phoenix and was damn near untouchable for the entire day. And in doing so, while he had a bit of, I'd say, protection from his teammate, it's not like he really needed it because the man, like I said, was the fastest out there, especially the Championship 4. But Logano winning a championship has to be one of the biggest moments of 2022. Taking the bronze is Ty Gibbs' actions at the 2nd Martinsville Xfinity race. Ty Gibbs has been a very hated driver over the last couple years, and he did not help his case at all in 2022, as in a lot of ways he took it a little overboard. And no other way was that shown more than at Martinsville when he took out his teammate Brandon Jones for the win, absolutely dumping him into turn 1, crashing him, getting the win himself, and in turn eliminating a JGR car from the playoff fight for the Final 4 at Phoenix. And this is the moment he became the villain completely to the fans. This was the moment that fans in unison booed him at the track and took out their revenge or anger on him on social media, and many even in the industry were upset at Gibbs. While he went on to win the championship, this is one of those moments that will define a young driver, and this is kind of like his Kyle Busch Richmond 08 kind of move. At number 2, we have Bubba Wallace crashing Kyle Larson intentionally at Las Vegas in the playoffs. Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace were racing up front, and they got really close together, and Bubba was up into the wall because of it. Not the greatest move on Larson's part, but again, not race ending for either the 5 or the 23. That was until Bubba couldn't control his emotions, went and turned down the track, took out the 5, and also, in an accident, took out Christopher Bell, his Toyota teammate. Then, Bubba, getting angry, comes out of the car over to Larson and tries to start a fight about it. Larson, to his credit, kept his cool, and that ultimately led to Bubba Wallace getting suspended a week and having the entire NASCAR world looking at him and wondering if one race suspension was enough or not. Let's be honest, we all knew the Hail Melon was going to be number 1. This is the move that defined the season. Like Slide Job did in 2018, like the Kenseth deal in 2015 at Martinsville, there are some moments that are just bigger than the championship itself. And while the championship usually makes up the biggest moments in the past, there's no way this move wasn't going to be number 1. How could it not? Chastain looked eliminated from the Final 4 as it went to the white flag at Martinsville. And in either a big-brained or a really stupid move that worked, he upshifted into 5th gear, kept the throttle down, went full-on Freebird around 3 and 4, and passed all the cars he needed to make it to the Final 4 at Phoenix. And it's crazy that no one has ever tried this successfully before at Martinsville, but it's also crazy for the fact that it eliminated Denny Hamlin, the same man he had a huge rivalry with all season. So it's like everything comes full circle in NASCAR. And on top of that, it went viral, getting hundreds of millions of views over social media and getting everybody talking about NASCAR. It was, honest to God, one of the most crazy moments, and like I said to people when I was streaming after the race, you witnessed history. Appreciate it. Now with that, I'm going to pass this all on to you. What was your favorite moment of 2022 in NASCAR? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continuous support, and until next time, have a good one.